Welcome to Real Life with Jenny. My name's Jenny Sendaparatna. Grab your favorite drink, get yourself a snack, and we will get started. Today I have pumpkin spice tea with me. I know I have not pulled this out for a long time, and maybe for good reason, but here we are. We're at it again. We're trying it again. And I have a thing called Brookie's Caramel Clusters. Like if you have a Trader Joe's in your area, and you have not tried a Brookie's caramel, like crunchy candy thing, it is brownie bites, but they're crunchy, and chocolate chip cookies with caramel and sea salt. Like, I don't know if I can convince you any more than what I just have. So let's get real. I want to talk a little bit about how I have lived my life for a very long time, and I'm not sure that it's such a good thing. All right. I don't know. We'll see. So this last weekend, my sister had the great idea of doing a garage sale. Now, in Twin Cities, the Minnesota area, a garage sale, you put all the stuff you don't want out into a garage, down the driveway, and random people come and buy stuff. And you put little stickers on them, and you say how much things are, and that's just kind of how things go. Now, my idea of a garage sale is not doing them. All right. Like, I'm just not, I do not do well at garage sales. I never have. I've never made any money at a garage sale. Like, it is just not my thing. And now I know why. So I gave my sister and mom like 2 boxes of things, like just 2 things. I said, you keep the money, you price it, like whatever you want. I do not want it. I do not want it back. I don't care how much it's sold for, right? Like, it's just not my thing. And we went over and we helped them set up in the mornings just to kind of, be a support, because that's what you do for family. You support that. But when I walked through, their prices were much higher than I would ever honestly price things at or buy things at. That's just kind of who I am. And we gave like some 3-ring binders, and my mom put like $4 or $5 on a 3-ring binder. And I'm like, I would have put a quarter, maybe a dime, or in the free box. Like, that's just kind of who I am. Like, I just don't charge, like, all my clothes I would have put a quarter on. Like, go for it, take them for free. Like, this is, that's just who I am. And so I was like, they're not going to make any money. Like, they're just not going to make any money. It's just, okay. Their prices are really high. And I went back because there was one day, I kind of went in and out, like, to try to help whenever I could. But there was one day that I was going out with a girlfriend, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to add to their chaos, and I'm going to drop off my dog because my daughter was somewhere, because she's no longer living at home, I guess. Now that I've said that aloud, I'm like, wait, she doesn't live at home, so it doesn't really matter. Jenny, what are you thinking? And my husband was in Iowa. So I was like, I'm going out. The dog is really struggling with Samantha being gone. Like, he is like full on hysterical all the time, and it's really difficult. So I was like, let's have him bring to my mom's, because my mom has like this backyard. She's got a dog door. Like, he's in and out all day, in and out, in and out, in and out. And so I was like, let's just make my life easier. And I'm so selfish. Let's make my life easier and drop him off at my mom's during the garage sale. So I drop him off, and during that time I dropped off a couple things that I kind of had like found around the house that I knew would probably like sell, because they were a little bit bigger items. They weren't like 3-ring binders. And one of the things I brought, someone was like, hey, how much are you going to charge for that? And I'm like, I have no idea. I was thinking like $4 or $5, like, something like that. I don't know, but I'm going to let my mom do this, because this is like her thing, and she gets the money, and that kind of piece. And my mom instantly goes to eBay and finds out that it's selling for like $185 on eBay. And I was like, okay, well, you probably can't put that on the garage sale. And she was like, you're right. Yeah, probably not. So we marked it somewhere a little bit cheaper. And while I was there, I was watching people that were shopping. And a lot of them were pulling up eBay and pulling up different places and like looking at their prices at the garage sale and looking for how much they were at eBay, and then grabbing stacks of stuff because they were all priced less than they are on eBay. even though I thought they were way too expensive. They were cheaper than what they are anywhere else. And my sister knew that because that's what she does. She sells on eBay a lot and she's really good at that. And I just this morning was kind of, by the way, my sister made a decent, she did a really, she sold a lot. She made a lot of money, really proud of her, go, wow. But I was sitting there this morning and I was kind of contemplating this because now they're cleaning everything up and they're donating stuff and they're putting stuff back on eBay and, just different pieces like that. And I was driving along on the road and I really was just, thinking about it, and worship music was playing in the background. And I heard this small little voice in my head that I know wasn't me because I would never think of this. That's how I normally know it's God, is because I know that I would never think of this. And it was, why do you continually sell yourself short? There's so much more value in what you have than what you are asking people to give you. And it was just that moment that I went, wow, that's more than just a garage sale. That is all the pieces of my life, and all of my life I have sold myself short on my talents, on my work ethic, on even this podcast, that it's not as in-depth and wild and it doesn't have 1 million downloads, which in some people's minds is a failure, and in my mind it's not, because I'm doing this out of pure obedience, although my numbers are really actually pretty good. But I sell myself short, and when I'm talking to people, I don't express how amazing I am, and I am constantly giving away the farm, is what they, does that make sense? That's kind of an old saying, I guess, and I don't own a farm and never will own a farm. Oh, Lord willing, I will never own a farm. Jenny with a farm would be one of the most hilarious, that would be its own podcast in and of itself. Let's just be real. I'd make so much money because people would be laughing so hard. I have detour just for a second. I was talking with a girlfriend, and she is one of those people that can make sawdust into something spectacular. She's a cook, and she's a gardener, and she has chicken. She's just amazing, right? And she's talking about homesteading and all these fruits and vegetables she has, and I was like, oh, I really feel like I'm homesteading right now too. Oh my gosh, I'm embarrassed to even tell you. And she was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, I made those crack an egg bowls. And she looked at me like I was a crazy person, because she would never have bought anything like this at a grocery store. It's a little package, and it's got potatoes, cheese, a meat, and you crack an egg and you put it in the microwave, which is probably the opposite of anything she would do. And I'm like, I made those myself. I saved my $3 and I bought all the materials, which I already had in the freezer anyway, and I made them myself, and I put them in little baggies, and then every morning I put them in a little ramekin. I crack an egg and I put it in the microwave, and I have this really fun little meal. And she just kind of looked at me like, way to go, Jenny. All of her stuff is she's just so amazing. And do you know those people? Do you know those people that just make you go, wow, someday I'll be like that. And that, honestly, now that I've said that aloud, it ties into this. I sell myself short because I walk away going, well, yeah, you're right. I'm not a homesteader. I've tried gardening. Guys, I hate dirt. First of all, dirt under my fingernails. Ugh. Okay. Reaction right there. Calm down, Jen. It's not actually happening. You'll be fine. I just don't like it. And I was not good at it. My carrots ended up being about an inch long. It was just, nothing grew. It's just not been a good situation. But I know how to cook. I can cook, and I constantly downgrade that. I constantly say I'm not doing good enough. I'm constantly saying it's not enough. I am always lowballing and I'm always selling myself short. And I'm always beating myself up for something that I'm doing my best and I'm doing good. Like, we don't eat out much when we're at home. And I realize that that's not a big deal, but to me, it is a victory. To me, that we stay at home and I scrounge around the house and I figure out a meal and I make it from as much as scratch as I possibly can, because I am not making my own noodles, guys. It is just not happening. I know it's on my bucket list, and someday I will make noodles just for kicks and giggles, but not for an everyday thing. And some of you are going to be like, why? They're so easy. Yeah, no, that's not happening. But I sell myself short, and I don't give myself the credit that I deserve for some days just getting out of bed and taking a shower and getting on this podcast. Sometimes that is more than I had the energy to do and more than I was able to do. You may be volunteering somewhere at your church and not feeling like it's as splashy or as big of a deal as somewhere else. I was actually volunteering in the kids ministry for many years, and I was like, boy, I would really love to be in a ministry that people saw me. That like the first impressions people, that everybody's like, oh, hi, it's my best friend and I get to see you every Sunday. And they're so fabulous. Like, first impressions are such a big deal in a church. And the children's ministry is really hard because nobody sees you. Like, they don't even know that you're their teacher sometimes. And I would feel like I wasn't doing enough, honestly. And this morning when God stopped me and said, stop selling yourself short, it wasn't necessarily about money. It was about allowing the gifts that He's given me to shine in a way that only they can shine through me. Because if you did a podcast, it's going to look completely different than my podcast. It is going to probably have like lots of scriptures, and it's going to be super great and good for you. Like, if that's what God calls you to, I am super excited for you. But that's not the thing that God's called me to. And I have to actually, in a week from like 2 weeks from now, oh my goodness, it's coming up so quick, 2 or 3 weeks, I am actually going and having a booth at a women's conference to sell myself. To say, hey, have Real Life with Jenny, have Jenny come and speak at your church. Like, I want to do your women's events. I want to do pastors' wives events. Like, I want to do this. I want to go for this. And I have to figure out how to sell myself. And this morning when God said, don't sell yourself short, I'm like, okay, that's all I do. Like, when I'm at the booth at our table, whenever we do a table at a conference, I am selling Kevin. Like, he is amazing. First of all, like, if you have not had Kevin in, he is amazing. But I can't sell myself short either. Like, God has given me talents and gifts, and God has given you talents and gifts. He has given you things that only you can do, and you underestimate how much you can do. I think there's a quote that says you always overestimate how much you can do in a year and underestimate how much you can do in 5 years. I think that's the quote. My husband says it all the time, but you know what? I'm probably wrong. All of a sudden I'm like, I don't know that that's the right one. But the truth is, we underestimate how much God can use us and how much impact we can have on the world around us by doing simple things, by just being who you are, by smiling at someone in a parking lot. I cannot tell you how many people that I've smiled at a parking lot, or they've smiled back, that I'm like, oh, this isn't such a bad day, right? Sometimes it's just that simple. Sometimes it's just that simple. So that's my quest for you this week. What are you selling yourself short on? What are you underestimating that God has called you to do? Or things that you're already doing, like, why are you devaluing them? Why are you not allowing them to be a bigger deal and tooting your horn a little bit? I know that those people on social media, I'm kind of rolling my eyes right now. There's some people on social media that you're like, shh, please just stop. I don't want to hear anything more about you or about your fabulous kid. I like, shh, just a little bit less, please. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay to toot your horn. It's okay to sell yourself for more than you think you're worth. And it's okay to go after what God has called you to do. So that's my encouragement for this week. Well, you can find me at Real Life with Jenny on Instagram, Facebook, and Be Real. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see my dog like going in circles right now. It's very bizarre. Anyway, such a weird world. You can support this ministry, this podcast specifically, by going to buymeacoffee.com/Real Life with Jenny. All the money goes back into Real Life with Jenny. And yes, at that conference, I will be giving away tea. I'm going to give away little tea bags so people can listen to the podcast and have a cup of tea. So that is really my heart. I want people to get excited about what God's doing in their own life. You can also find me at christconnection.cc/Jenny. All of my info is there. You can also email me with anything that kind of is going on in your life. Like, what are you selling yourself short on? So this week, as you're walking through and you're beating yourself up about something, I want you to take a deep breath and go, God, am I selling myself short on this? Am I not giving myself the credit for getting through that meeting, getting through that pickup line with your kids? Oh, wow. If God does not give you grace for that moment, I don't know when he will. There are so many moments in life that we can just beat ourselves up about. And I'm asking you to go before God and say, God, am I selling myself short? And go after the things that he's gifted you to do. You all have a great week.